In the world we live in, it's easy to lose sight of who we are. From a young age, we're taught to meet expectations, our parents, teachers, friends, and even societies. We try so hard to fit in that we forget to ask the most important question: what do I really want from life? Many of us spend years, sometimes decades, chasing dreams that aren't our own. Maybe it's the career path our family wanted for us. Maybe it's a lifestyle that looks good to others but feels hollow inside. The truth is, life isn't meant to be lived this way. Life is meant to be authentic, joyful, and uniquely yours. Imagine this. A young girl named Maya loved painting as a child. Her world came alive with colors and creativity. But as she grew up, people began to tell her that painting wasn't practical. You should study something that will get you a good job, they said. So Maya stopped painting. She went to college, studied accounting, and got a steady job. On the surface, Maya seemed successful. She had a stable income, a nice apartment, and the approval of her family. But deep down, she felt unfulfilled. Every day felt the same, and she couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. Maya's story isn't unique. Many of us have dreams or passions that we set aside because we're told they're not good enough, practical enough, or important enough. We convince ourselves that it's okay because we're meeting expectations and keeping others happy. But what about our own happiness? Living authentically means embracing who you are and what you truly want, even if it doesn't align with what others expect of you. It's about being honest with yourself and having the courage to follow your heart. Think about the people you admire. Maybe it's a musician, an artist, an entrepreneur, or even a teacher who makes a difference. What do they all have in common? They didn't let fear or others' opinions stop them from pursuing their passions. They stayed true to themselves, and that's what makes their stories inspiring. Authenticity doesn't mean being selfish or ignoring others' feelings. It means recognizing that your happiness matters too. When you live authentically, you bring your best self to the world. You become someone who inspires others to do the same. If you've been living for others, making a change can feel overwhelming, but it's never too late to start living for yourself. I know you might be wondering, I lived for others all this time and didn't do anything that makes me truly happy. But what to do, and how can I change myself? So here are some steps to help you embrace your true path. 1. Reflect on what matters to you. Take some time to think about what truly makes you happy. What are the activities, people, or dreams that bring you joy? What did you love doing as a child, before expectations took over? Write these down and let them guide you. 2. Let go of guilt. It's natural to feel guilty when you start prioritizing yourself, especially if you're used to putting others first. Remember, living for yourself doesn't mean neglecting your responsibilities or relationships. It means finding balance and making space for your happiness. 3. Take small steps. Big changes can be scary, so start small. If you've always wanted to write a book, set aside 15 minutes a day to write. If you dream of traveling, start saving or researching destinations. These small steps will build momentum and confidence. 4. Set boundaries. Learning to say no is essential. You can't live authentically if you're constantly trying to please everyone. Be honest about your limits and prioritize the things that align with your goals and values. 5. Surround yourself with supportive people. Not everyone will understand or support your journey, and that's okay. Focus on the people who encourage you to be yourself. They're the ones who will celebrate your growth and cheer you on. When you start living for yourself, something incredible happens. You feel a sense of freedom and excitement that you may not have felt in years. Life becomes more vibrant because you're no longer just going through the motions. You're living with purpose. You see, Maya, the girl who gave up painting, eventually realized something really important. She couldn't ignore her passion anymore. She started painting again in her free time. just for fun. Over time, she built a small online business selling her artwork. She might be earning less than her job, but she is happy, and that is what matters in our life. Today, Maya is happier than ever because she's living a life that reflects who she truly is. She has a loving daughter, and she is more happier than ever and wants her daughter to live a happier life too. Living authentically doesn't mean your life will be perfect or free of challenges, but it does mean you'll face those challenges with a sense of purpose and confidence. You'll know that every step you take is leading you closer to the life you were meant to live. Living authentically can feel scary at first. It often means stepping into the unknown, challenging old habits, and sometimes even disappointing others. But this fear is a sign that you're on the verge of growth. Take Sam, for example. Sam was weak in studies, but his parents wanted him to chase something that he was never meant to be. His parents wanted him to become an engineer. Sam wanted to become a fashion designer. He was not only good at, but he was great at it. One day, Sam mustered up the courage and took the big step. He left engineering as he saw no future in it and decided to not waste any more of his parents' money, and started as a beginner fashion designer. At first, Sam faced criticism. "My son is a mechanical engineer and has a stable career, and his future is secured. Is your son dumb? Why did he leave engineering? If my son did that, I would have kicked him out of the house," the relatives said. But as the skills of Sam grew, big companies started to recognize his talent, and eventually, he was earning more than all of his relatives combined, and made his family proud. These are the real stories of people I knew, although I wasn't that courageous like them, and I always regretted my decisions back then. You see, change isn't easy, but it's worth it. When you follow your heart, the fear of failure fades, replaced by the satisfaction of living a life that feels true to you. Sometimes we've been living for others so long that we forget what we're passionate about. If this sounds familiar, don't worry. It's never too late to rediscover what lights you up. Start by trying new things. Take a class, join a club, or pick up a hobby you've always been curious about. Listen to what excites you. Pay attention to the moments when you lose track of time because you're so immersed in something you love. It's also helpful to look back at your childhood. What did you enjoy doing before life got complicated? Did you love drawing, writing stories, or exploring nature? These early passions often hold clues to what will bring you joy now. Living for yourself often means learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals or values. This can be challenging, especially if you're used to saying yes to keep others happy. But every time you say yes to something you don't want, you're saying no to yourself. Learning to set boundaries is an essential part of living authentically. I have a friend named Rosa. Was always the go-to person in her family for help. Need a babysitter? Call Rosa. Feeling lazy to cook? Call Rosa. Need a slave? Call Rosa. While Rosa loved her family, she realized she was constantly putting their needs above her own. One day, Rosa asked me for help. I replied, "If you don't want to, then why are you doing it? Just say no." It was hard, but Rosa decided to make a change. She started saying no to requests that didn't fit her schedule or priorities. At first, her family was surprised, but Rosa explained, "I need to take care of myself too." Over time, they understood, and Rosa finally had the space to pursue her own dreams. One of the most liberating truths about living authentically is that there's no one-size-fits-all path. Your journey will look different from everyone else's, and that's okay. Some people may find fulfillment in careers, while others prioritize family, travel, or creative pursuits. What matters is that your choices reflect your values and passions. Imagine life as a blank canvas. You're the artist, and every decision you make adds color and shape to the picture. Don't be afraid to make bold strokes. try new techniques, or change direction if something isn't working. The masterpiece you create is entirely your own. When you live authentically, you don't just change your own life, you inspire others to do the same. People are drawn to those who live with passion and purpose because it reminds them of what's possible. Think about someone you admire. Maybe they started a business, wrote a book, or simply live with a sense of peace and happiness. Their authenticity likely inspired you to reflect on your own life. By living for yourself, you can have that same impact on others. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt, and times when it feels easier to go back to old habits. But each step you take toward being true to yourself is a step toward a more fulfilling life. The next time you feel overwhelmed by expectations, remember this. You are the author of your story. You have the power to choose what chapters to write, what dreams to pursue, and what legacy to leave behind. Take it one day at a time. Celebrate small victories, learn from setbacks, and keep moving forward. The journey may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Life is too short to live for anyone but yourself. Embrace your passions, set boundaries, and create a life that reflects who you truly are. Along the way, you'll find not only happiness, but also the strength and freedom to achieve greatness. In your journey to success, you need some success secrets. Watch this video, where a wise farmer shares real secrets to success.